My name is Kylie Stubbs, and today I will be giving a presentation about ADD and ADHD and how it relates to education. ADD stands for Attention Deficit Disorder, and ADHD stands for Attention Deficit and Hyperactivity Disorder. I chose this topic because I myself have battled with ADHD since I was in elementary school, and I'm hoping to shed some light on the diagnosis for others going into education, and I would like to further educate myself about my own condition and learn some new stuff, hopefully. I will be analyzing ADD and ADHD through primary school, secondary school, and higher education situations. There are three different types of ADHD. The first is inattentive, the second is hyperactive impulsive, and the third is combined. Combined is a combination of inattentive and hyperactive impulsive. So some of the symptoms of inattentive ADHD are the student fails to give attention, they lose things, they're easily distracted, and they avoid difficult or time-consuming tasks. Some symptoms of hyperactive impulsive are the student fidgets with their hands, they're constantly moving, they may talk excessively, they blurt out, and they're very impatient. And combined is literally just a combination of the two. So if a student is exhibiting both of these symptoms, then they probably have combined ADHD. ADD and ADHD in children, these are some more symptoms. They're very self-focused, prone to interruptions, very impatient, may exhibit some emotional imbalance or inability to regulate their own emotions. They're fidgeting a lot, they have problems staying quiet, problems finishing tasks, lack of focus in general, avoidance of time-consuming or difficult tasks or tasks in general, and they make a lot of silly mistakes on their schoolwork. This is usually due to rushing through their schoolwork and not really giving it the thought and time that it needs. ADHD and ADD in teenagers looks like trouble paying close attention, don't seem to be listening, difficulty organizing tasks, avoids doing homework or finishing tasks. They're easily distracted and often forgetful or inattentive. They have trouble staying seated, they're restless, they may exhibit some risky sexual behavior, and they blurt out and interrupt in class, and they are also very impatient. ADHD in college students and adults looks like impulsiveness, trouble multitasking, reckless decision making, poor planning, frequent mood swings, hot temper, trouble coping with stress, low tolerance for frustration, low self-esteem, and hypersensitivity to criticism. So a lot of these symptoms that are present in childhood carry on to adulthood, but not all of them. So the implications of ADHD for children are that they may have difficulty maintaining relationships and friendships. They may have trouble being well liked at school. The relationships that they hold in school may not translate to out of school. They may have trouble with acceptance in social situations from other students and from other kids their age. Classrooms are often provide way too many distractions for students with ADHD, so they have difficulty with that. They may overshare and in turn lack school appropriateness. There's impulsiveness with words and difficulty holding back from saying things maybe they shouldn't say. There is also increased anxiety in stressful situations, increased anger, and these children are more likely to develop depression later on in life. The implications for ADD and ADHD in teenagers and adults is teenagers and adults with ADHD are less likely to graduate from high school or to achieve a college degree. There's a lot of family difficulties that can come up, like trouble getting along with siblings or with maintaining healthy relationships with family members. There is difficulty with school and extracurricular relationships. There can be a lot of criminal arrests, substance abuse, traffic violations, hard to get and keep a steady job, trouble maintaining relationships with the people around them, poor grades in school, and poor listening skills in general. So some of the causes that are speculated revolving around ADD and ADHD are the mother smoking cigarettes and drinking while pregnant, exposure to lead or pesticides in early childhood, premature birth due to low birth rate, brain injury, watching too much, brain injury, and these are not, the last three here on the slide are not causes of ADHD, but they definitely contribute to the symptoms of ADHD and just don't really help the situation if you're trying to remedy the diagnosis. So watching too much TV is a bad deal. Eating sugar is also bad. It just fuels that inner energy that could be trying to be avoided. And family stress, of course, because these students and children are usually already prone to anxiety and depression and stress. So added family stress can just make it worse. I think that educators need to receive special training and specific education about what ADD and ADHD looks like and how to deal with it correctly in the classroom, because I think a lot of times students' diagnoses are not taken seriously, or they're not remembered as much as they should be, and it needs to be taken seriously because it is a legitimate condition and it needs to be recognized by teachers, by educators, by administration, and it'll just make it easier. When you know what you're looking for, you'll know how to deal with it. Paraprofessionals are a great resource if they're needed. Sometimes they're not, but it's always nice to have an extra set of hands in the classroom so that the student with ADHD is not taking up all of the teacher's time and energy. So much patience is needed from teachers, from all educators, from administration. So much patience. And I think that both teachers and the child need to be reminded of to refocus. The child needs to be reminded to refocus, and the educator needs to be reminded to just kind of take it easy and to not get too upset and too frustrated, because dealing with a child with ADHD can be very irritating. It can feel like they don't care and they don't want to do better and help themselves, but I don't know. It's difficult. I think patience and persistence are some of the most important things that educators need when it comes to ADD and ADHD. Make sure that the child feels loved and accepted in the classroom. I think that this is huge and can remedy almost all of the issues. I think a lot of the time children feel like an outcast because maybe they are lacking those deep connections with students at school, or maybe they don't have a favorite teacher, or maybe they're not a teacher's favorite, or they're having a hard time with family relationships. So really making sure that all of your students, not just students with ADHD, feel loved when they come into your classroom and feel like it's a safe place where they are able to freely express themselves no matter what, and that it's a healthy learning environment. Set your child up for success, not failure. If you know their weaknesses, don't put them in a position where they are likely to act on those weaknesses. You really want to make your students feel good about themselves and about their work. And if that means accommodations and an IEP, then that's what it takes. But sometimes it's even easier things than that, and just showing that extra bit of love and patience and care. And here are my references, and that is it. Thank you.